the offense, as she appeared depressed and anxious. Alex told Mandy to hide in the bedroom, altering promise to testify for the prosecution. It is not hard to find Alex is a tenth witness.
Indicate your presence at Mr. Cole's residence.
是给你们做法庭记录的。
You just mentioned that you felt dizzy or drowsy after.
马上就要开庭了，1个半小时。
对，然后你要注意 eye contact， 就是跟 jury 还有法官的眼神交流，让他们感觉到被关注了。
是的，
就是你在确保沉稳流利的前提下再去。
但如果对面没有完全脱稿，我们脱稿，那对于陪审团的观感就是更好的。
因为我觉得对面如果是 Marco 的话，
不是 Marco， 骆老师。
骆老师他会完全脱稿吗？
Then how did you manage to get out this emergency situation for a few minutes to be able to send Alex a message if he was beating you?
哇，这个问题好像可以问到他。
Okay. Your knowledge of the passing of events on the 28th of March are solely from the words of the defendant. Correct. So yes.
Oh, yes.
As a psychiatrist, you can only diagnose Miss Tan with illness, but you're incapable of tracing down.
我还有好多要加的。
但是我 Alex 已经超级多，我就是觉得已经有点来不及了，因为我想问他东西太多了，包括他躺下来的时候，他躺在这个沙发上，他到底是坐姿还是躺姿？躺姿就根本没法答。哎，要调整一下我的心态。
Alex， 我帮你盘一下，看哪些可以删掉。
行，我直接问嘛，我就把你当 Alex 问。How often did Mandy complain about domestic violence?
你问这个问题会不会让他花很多时间回复你？就是说你看到我这些伤口吗？ Yes or no 就行。
Was she scared of being killed by Robert? Did you accompany Mandy to her
这个问题的话，
psychiatrist?
其实就暗含了他知道，对吧？
我的意思是说，你知不知道她今天就是28号那个
How
天 Did she take medication every day?
Medication every day 也可以去掉。
哎呀，我觉得有好多需要就是临时改的，我到一上庭，我感觉我脑子都空白了。
我也是令人难以想象的压力呀！
我就怕把你们写的点，然后告诉我的点，最后我一上庭我都忘了，我没说出来。
你得绝对有自信啊！你是盘了他们的人，他们不能反问的。
你们是不是快要下去了？
啊！不要说这个，我真的。
没事，真的到庭上，也许问着问着，思路
嗨了哈。我觉得可以是这种实战型的，这种
绝对性的一上场，整个人就燃起来了，
就开火了。哇，真的不一样哦！哇哦！
这仪式感真是拉满。
来，帅呀！真的很就像那种 TVB 的那种剧里面那种场景。
对，他们长得也很像这剧里面的场景。
对，特别张启乔哈。
绝了，这个头发，
帅呀！
空发到齐了，充满自信。对方来了。多帅啊！你看，大屁股。
是
啊，这是 Mandy， 这是犯罪嫌疑人。哦，被告。
关百安大律师的师傅。我都想站起来。
对，是有种
是吧
肃然起敬的。
Please be seated. Miss Cheng, could you please bring the jury in?
哎，这个我也很期待。
Please be seated, members of the jury. Members of the jury, we are here to try this case on these two counts. The first count is murder. The second count is preventing the lawful burial of a body, that is, the body of the deceased person, Robert Kaur. Madam Tan does not have to prove anything. That's a very important point. So the prosecution must prove the case. The prosecution are represented by Miss Law, I hope assisted by Mr. Cheng. That's the prosecution counsel, thank you. Sit down. And Madam Tan herself is represented by Miss Chan. Thank you, Miss Chan, and Mr. Chan. Now, thank you. If you can be seated, please.
模拟法庭非常考验实习生们的基础积累和临场反应能力，也是香港法学院和法律界常用的考核学生辩护技巧的一种方式。
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Miss Law to address you in her opening about her case in this matter. Thank you, Miss Law.
You say it's firing the first shot. It's actually extremely important. Now, many people say if you open a case well, you may actually win it.
May I please the court? My lord, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm Michelle Law, and it is my privilege to present the prosecution in this significant case. This is a case about a cold-blooded and premeditated killing, which resulted in the violent and premature end of a man's life within the walls of his own home. The accused, Ms. Mandy Tan, committed a heinous act that resulted in the tragic death of the deceased, Mr. Robert Kaur, her husband. Together, the prosecution must prove that the accused unlawfully killed her husband, and it was her intent to kill or cause grievous bodily harm upon the victim. Subsequently, the accused prevented the lawful burial of her husband's body within the intent to do so. In this case, it is undisputed that the deceased suffered an overdose from a combination of medications and alcohol before his death, which rendered him sleepy and drowsy. It is undisputed that the deceased lost his life suffering from severe head injuries, which resulted in his death. and his corpse was wrapped in his and the accused's shared home. It is also undisputed that the accused appeared at the scene, and she hadn't left the scene until March 30, 2 days after the death already happened. In light of this truth, the prosecution will call 3 prosecution witnesses. The first prosecution witness is Alex Wong. He will tell you about his and the accused's actions on the night of March 28th. The second prosecution witness is Dr. Jay Chen, a forensic pathologist. She will explain her findings on the multiple health injuries which resulted in his death. The last prosecution witness is Amy Wong, who has been living in the flat next to the victim and accused since 2020. She will testify about the frequent violent arguments between the deceased and the accused. She will also raise suspicions regarding the accused's behavior, which will highlight that the death of the deceased was part of a premeditated plan. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence you will hear is comprehensive. It paints a picture of a person who attacked the deceased when he was incapacitated. His consciousness was impaired by the combination of medications and alcohol, which was not carried out of fear or confusion, but out of deliberate intent to harm and deceive. By considering all the evidence you will hear, you are open to delivering a verdict that upholds the law and honors the memory of the deceased, confirms the principle that violence and vigilantism have no place in our society, and justice must be sought through lawful means. My lord, this is the prosecution's opening address. If his lordship doesn't have further questions, may I call the first prosecution witness, Alex Wong.
优秀啊，他稳扎稳打的，反正就是可以。
Thank you. Please call Alex Wong. Mr. Wong, could you please stand up while the affirmation takes place?
I, Alex Wong, solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Please be seated.
哎，咱们内地也要宣吗？也是要宣誓。
要说你承诺你自己所说的爱是真话，是没有受到不当影响与干预。
If you could commence your examination of this witness, please.
Mr. Alex Wong, I am the counsel for the prosecution assisting Ms. Law today.
Yes.
How do you know Ms. Mandy Tan?
I met her some 5 years ago in an art fair, and we became lovers afterwards.
第三者。
What was your view of Ms. Mandy Tan before the death of Mr. Robert Cole?
I think she was a very lovely girl, but I am also very sympathetic with her because she had been abused by her late husband for a long time. I had accompanied her to see psychiatrists on a few occasions. I know that she hated her late husband. She sometimes told me she would wish him dead.
What did Ms. Mandy Tan think about her husband?
I don't know what she should think about her husband.
Has she ever expressed to you in words about anything?
Objection.
Objection. Oh, 来了。Objection.
Objection. Leading question.
Yes.
Okay. According to Miss Mandy Tan's WhatsApp record, she texted you on the 28th of March. What did she say?
I think I received a message of please come now at 9:22 p.m. And I asked her where, and she said my place, hurry. Her message was, he will hit me again. I think he is referring to Robert because it always happened before. And she said she was scared and no escape. I think the last message was a typo or whatever because she may be in a panic. I don't understand the last message.
So what did you do after you saw her messages?
I went to her residence because I was nearby, just in around 10 minutes.
How did you enter the flat?
Mandy gave key to me before, so I opened the door with the key.
What did you see?
I saw a man, should be Robert, his back was facing me. I think she was strangling Mandy. There was a struggle. No. But he looked weak. It seems that he could not keep balance. It's not really normal, I can describe. At that time, I think she was going to maybe attack Mandy, and so I tried to stop him.
And how did you try to stop him?
I picked up a glass jar on the table and hit him because he was quite a strong build.
So how many times did you hit him?
I think once or twice.
Which part of his body did you strike? Did you hit?
I think it's his head, but I cannot tell the exact position.
How hard did you hit his head with this glass jar?
I don't think I hit him hardly because my aim was to stop him. It seems that after I hit him and then he just sat down on the sofa.
Did you see any wounds or blood on the deceased?
Yes, not really many blood, but...
What did the deceased look like after he was hit by you?
He was not moving. He looks like he had calmed down, but he looks a bit sleepy.
Did he attempt to further attack?
Objection. Leading question.
Yes, I accept that objection.
Then what happened after you hit him?
Then Mandy suddenly lost control. He picked up a statue made of steel and hit Robert's head. Around 4 to 5 times, I think. It's quite hard. And she yelled, "I'll bloody kill you, I'll bloody kill you," at the time when she... I tried to ask him to stop, but it seems that she could not listen to my words. She was very emotional, hysterical, if I can describe. Yes, I can't stop. I could not stop her.
God.
And I was so scared that I left the scenes immediately.
Yes, so have you had any contact with her since you left their home?
At that night, she called me after the incident. She said she had killed Robert and asked me what to do next.
Oh God. 这对辩方非常非常不利了。
How did you respond?
I just tell her to surrender to the police.
Would you agree with me that you had one conviction for assault occasioning actual bodily harm?
Yes.
哎，他为什么问这个？
这其实是辩方 他想
主动把这个事情解释清楚哦。
这个危险吗？
如果这个材料确实是双方都拿到的话，可能主动说也不是一件坏事儿。
Can you briefly outline what happened in relation to that assault, so the jury know?
I was engaged in a fight in a bar, and I used a glass to hit another person. I admitted my fault. I plead guilty in that case.
As I understand it, you had the conviction for obtaining property by deception. You used a forged credit card to obtain some property. Is that right?
Yes.
嚯，他有这么多前科。
You pleaded guilty.
Have these convictions affected your attitude in life?
Yes, I became an honest person afterwards. And I tried to control my emotions. It has changed my life. I became a law-abiding person afterwards.
他想问这个结果，问出他已经变了。
因为你自己不说的话，对方也会问。
对，会影响他前面证词的可信度。
可信性，对，就比较被动，
也是个思路。
But I have to emphasize that in this case, I hit Robert's head with the glass jar just to stop him from attacking Mandy. It's not because I lost my emotion, lost my mind. It's not because of that.
I see. Thank you. I think we're at the end of the examination in chief.
一会儿谁在打？谁在打
？Thank you, Mr. Cheng. I would ask the defence, Miss Chan, to cross-examine.
Yes, Miss Chen will ask the cross-examination now.
Yeah， 这一轮太重要了，把场子扳回来。
So were you jointly charged with Mandy for murder before by prosecutor?
Yes.
Now, what's the allegation against you?
I think the prosecution had amended the charge to manslaughter, and I pleaded guilty to that.
So you said before, when the prosecutor was asking you, you said Mandy ever said she wished Robert dead.
True. She sometimes told me she would wish him dead.
But did she ever say actual plan or specific plan to you about the plan of hurting Robert?
好问题。
No.
When you received the WhatsApp message from Mandy, where were you?
I think I were having a drink with my friend.
So do you usually get irritable and violent after drinking?
哦，以前就有。
No, not after the incident in the past. After my conviction, I changed my life.
But you actually had a history of becoming irritable
I
after
think
drinking.
He's already answered that question.
Oh, sure.
你看，这是把这条路封掉了。
你该说的已经说了，陪审团也听到了。
不必再问。
我们怎么在主问的时候，先把有可能他驳的一些点呢给堵上？比如说他前面的这些犯罪记录，
对他们要是被他们问出来，就会很那个。
啊，对，所以是先抛出来的。
你看看，
罗老师笑了。
真的战术。
Phrase ask questions of fact.
I will rephrase. So was the glass jar broken after you hit Robert?
No.
No. How many times did you hit Robert?
At most twice.
Most.
I can't remember at that time. I just saw him sitting on the sofa. And then suddenly, Mandy lost control. She raised her hand and then used the statue to hit at least 4 to 5 times.
What did Mandy use to hit Robert?
It's a statue.
Where did Mandy get that statue?
I can't remember exactly because my attention was not on her.
So then you tried to leave after seeing Robert coming down. Isn't your aim to protect Mandy? Why didn't you take Mandy with you?
Good.
It's her residence.
But you came in order to save Mandy, but you left Mandy there with Robert, who just strangled her.
对呀、
对啊，你为了他来了，你要不然你就不来。
对你打人一下你就走了，这个是什么意思？
哦，这个问题确实给陪审员也留下了疑问哈。是。
Because I think Robert has calmed down. He just sat there. I think exactly because my attention was not on her. It's just so quick. And
so you can't remember every single detail at the scene. You can't even remember where did Mandy get that statue. So how can you say that Mandy hit at least 4 or 5 times?
Oh, good. 扳回来了。
I saw him because I was looking at Robert at that time. She raised her hand and then used the statue to hit. Cannot remember the exact times, but
sure.
4到5次变成了记不清多少次。对。
So you were not sure about every single action done by Robert and Mandy because you were in panic.
You can say so.
前面的证言的可信度降低了哈，大打折扣。
对，我觉得他的盘问非常的有效果，就是非常的 effective， 盘问的很好。就是他不是说自己准备了一个清单问，然后证人怎么答他就问下一条，不是的，人家给了答案之后，他接着那个问题再去问，接着答案再继续问。所以我觉得他的盘问做的真的不错。
可以，厉害，可是太厉害了。
Okay, understood. No further question. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Wong. That's the end of your evidence. Miss Law, your next witness, please.
May I introduce the second prosecution witness, Dr. J. Chen?
Yes, please call her.
Good afternoon, Dr. J. Chen. Thank you very much for providing your testimony in this trial. Could you please describe what's your current position and which institution are you affiliated?
I graduated from CUHK, Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. I have served in Department of Health for 10 years.
Thank you. Can you describe the person of the autopsy you performed?
We found a toxicological screening, and there's 3 substances inside the body. It's sulficlone and fluoxetine and ethanoid. There's a scalp laceration varied in shape. 1 to 2 close to linear contested laceration, and 3 to 4 small open scalp wounds with abrasions. Depression and comminuted fractures are observed. Bone fragments penetrated the brain tissue.
According to your knowledge and experience, what do you think is the probable causation of these injuries?
The curve of the scalp lacerations and depression, comminuted skull fracture revealed that the deceased suffered high-impact traumas by a sharp weapon instead of blunt or penetrating weapon. The traumas caused subdural hematoma, which is the direct cause of the death.
哇，这个非常关键。
Can you further describe the location of these injuries on the head?
There are 4 severe impact blow marks on the occipital area of the head with skull fractures.
Other than that, are there any other injuries on the body or other parts of the deceased?
There's no other reasons, external injuries, no signs of defensive wounds.
I wonder, can you explain to us how you come to the conclusion that there is no defensive wounds?
Because when one attack another, then if the people want to defend himself, they would just do some gesture to defend that. So, but there's no other evidence of that. So, comes to the conclusion of this.
Were there any other findings during the internal examination?
Bodily samples have been collected for toxicological screening. The deceased blood sample reacted positive to zopiclone at around 45 mg, fluoxetine 10 mg, and ethanol 200 mg per 100 ml.
Do you know what is the zopiclone and the fluoxetine you mentioned, and what's the function of them?
Zopiclone is a type of sleeping pill which can treat insomnia. Fluoxetine is a type of antidepressant.
Can you describe what's your view about those medicine you just mentioned, which were screened out from the system of the deceased?
Zopiclone is a sleeping pill because the dosage is a little bit bigger. It's at around 45 mg. But for the usual dosage, we would use only 7.5 mg. So 45 is actually clearly exceed the usual dosage. So could lead a person even into coma.
Overload. 哇，这么高啊
Fluoxetine is a common type of antidepressant. So we won't ask the patient to take this antidepressant with the alcohol because it could cause the side effect, even maximize the side effect. It could cause the patient to feel very dizzy and cannot act normally. This finding was compatible with a non-existence of defensive wounds, which suggested that the deceased was overdosed and unable to resist or defend himself against the violent attacks.
Sorry.
Objection. I think that's opinion evidence beyond expertise.
Well, she's a pathologist and giving evidence as an
But she
expert.
speculated about the thing happened at the crime scene.
反驳了法官。
All right, I accept that objection. Yes, that answer is withdrawn. That is a fair objection.
Thank you, my lord.
Cool， 好厉害、强势推进，乐心有压力了。
I think that's an appropriate stage to move on, and we can move to cross-examination.
Okay, so we just continue with the cross-examination. According to expertise, is it possible for a person to go into a temporary state of shock after a serious blow to the head?
第二种可能。
Yes, of course.
That's possible.
Yes.
哦，就不一定是完全是那个药导致他昏迷的。
After suffering 2 bashes at the head, can a normal person without medication be very defensive?
Could be.
It's just a maybe.
Yeah.
So that's not the only cause, as you said before.
Yeah.
所以药没那么重要。
So according to your report, There's 1 and 2 that's close to linear contused laceration. Number 3 and 4 small open scalp wounds with abrasions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there a great chance that the object caused both 1 and 2 and another object caused both 3 and 4?
It could be.
伤口是不一样的。
From the fact that the only 4 wounds, it's not likely that Robert has suffered more than 4 serious hits.
So how many times did you hit him? I think once or twice. He picked up statue made of steel and hit Robert's head around 4 to 5 times, I think.
那这就跟刚刚那个 Alex 说的是有出入。对，
他很好的化解了前一位证人的可信度。
对，
厉害啊！可儿一个人战群雄。
Thank you. Yeah, no further questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my lord.
Any re-examination?
复问也非常重要。如果问题问得好的话，可以扭转前面对自己不利的局势。
From the fact that the only 4 wounds, it's not likely that Robert has suffered more than 4 serious hits.
Yes, my lord.
Thank you.
哦，继续问了。
Could you please describe the possibility that a person can cause such wounds by using a glass jar without breaking the glass?
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible, okay. And
跟他预设的答案方向可能不太一致，所以使得他接下来的问题无法，他必须临场。
we want you to describe how likely it is caused by 2 different persons.
We cannot tell.
Thank you. That's all my question.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Chan. All right then. Miss Law, I think you've got one more witness, is that right? Her next door neighbour or something?
The third prosecution witness we are going to call is Miss Amy Wong.
等于他叫了3个证人，每一个都被可儿给打回去了，是吧？
目前是打了2个了，都打回去了。
Miss Wong, I'm the counsel for the prosecution assisting Miss Law, and I'll be asking some questions.
Right.
It's because you're neighbors. Have you ever overheard Miss Tan and Mr. Kaw's conversations at home?
Yes.
And what would they be like?
They were arguing.
About what?
I'm not sure exactly about what, but I heard Robert said to Mandy, I'll kill you, bitch. And then Mandy said, I'll bloody kill you first, you idiot.
啊，说出沙滩这个词儿了。
Has Miss Mandy Tan ever talked to you individually about this issue?
No, I didn't ask her.
So apart from saying hi, have you ever met her outside for anything?
I would say quite minimal, but recently she said she wanted to open a lemon tea shop, and she gave me some lemon tea and asked me for feedback.
And how did this lemon tea taste like?
It tastes like just a normal lemon tea. Very sour, I would say.
Very sour.
Yeah.
And how would this lemon tea look like?
It's just a normal lemon tea.
How did you feel after drinking this lemon tea?
I felt quite sleepy.
What?
After drinking it.
What? Tea.
Do you usually when you drink lemon tea, do you also get sleepy?
No.
So it was only this lemon tea that made you very sleepy?
Yeah, this specific lemon tea.
这
是什么意思啊？那
拿它试药，可能是他想确定多少的剂量能够让一个成年人
产生困意，以及他有没有喝出来他有异常的味道。
对。
哇，这有点阴谋了。
所以他说 normal lemon tea 是说他没有其他的怪味，
确保她丈夫未来喝的时候也喝不出来。
I have no further questions, Final.
Thank you. Thank you. Cross-examination, please.
Yes, please, my lord. How many times did Mandy invite you to taste her lemon tea?
I think maybe twice.
So only twice, but did you catch COVID recently while you were tasting the lemon tea?
可能是因为其他的问题。
邻居他的判断是 speculation， 因为他有可能是因为新冠的后遗症导致，他没有任何证据直接去说明是因为下药让他感到了喝完柠檬茶就精神恍惚。
道理啊。
Yeah, I caught COVID around that time when I tasted the lemon tea.
哦，那不能。
How many times did you feel sleepy over the 2 months?
Not very often.
More than twice?
Yes.
So it's not every time that you feel sleepy is after drinking the lemon tea. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
那就没意义了。
漂亮。
So how did Mandy invite you to review the lemon tea?
She just asked me, how was it?
How was the taste, or how do you feel?
哇，好细节啊！
哇 So how was the taste?
So the review focused on the taste rather than your feeling after drinking it.
Right.
Okay.
也打掉了，哇！
I have no further question. Thank you, my lord.
Okay. Any questions arising?
Yeah.
怎么这么神呢？
后面的辅佐团队要开始递条了，没递出去。
Miss Amy Wong, how would you describe your sleepiness after drinking the lemon tea compared to your normal sleepiness?
More sleepy than usual.
If COVID made you sleepy, was that sleepiness more similar to the COVID sleepiness? I mean, the daily sleepiness, or more similar to the lemon tea sleepiness?
I would say similar to normal sleepiness.
Michael 的符文是有效的，弥补了一点。
Okay, I have no further questions, my lord.
I think objection. I think the statement is mere opinion evidence.
Well, what she's saying, I think, is admissible non-expert opinion, that she had this illness and that she felt sleepy. And she was not saying definitely yes, but she wasn't saying definitely no.
Yeah, I accept this statement just made by you, my lord.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Wong, for coming. Miss Law, do you have any more witnesses, or is that your last witness?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our case, and we have no further prosecution witnesses.
Thank you very much, Miss Law. Thank you. Now, Mr. Chan.
Okay, come on. 终于。
What's the position with the defense? Well, if you're going to make an opening statement, that means you're going to call more than one witness, correct?
We're going to call our defendant and also one of the expert witness.
That's fine. So you're entitled to make an opening address, please.
最后他们说的快一点，他们都觉得快一点，一直都好像没有很法的用力，这是很好的机会让他们重新振作起来。
要表现自己。
要表现自己。最要看 看 Grady 这方面看不看见
？Grady 加油啊！
来了 ，Speak up。
我操
！Oh God！
啊，判了1集就需要陈仲瑜说话，刚张嘴让我扫码续费，是不是？
所以刚才我们看了一轮了，那截止到现在，陈仲瑜开庭的这个陈词之前，
对
我们心里比较偏向于哪一边？我们会觉得谁比较占优势？
如果是我可能会觉得辩方
对可方啊，对，
因为他的这些盘问让我觉得案件还是会有很多疑点的，就并没有像他所说的一定是被告所动的手。
控方没有足够说服我们这个证据链的严密性、唯一性。
但是陈可儿特别厉害的说了一些东西之后，洛欣居然没有站起来再反驳他。
他很想回击，但是他站在那边想不到怎么回击的感觉。
哎，可是洛欣应该知道陈可儿知道他会拿这些去说这些事儿吧？
不知道。在香港的庭审当中，控方他是不知道，就是辩方他到底是什么辩护的思路或者是证据的，因为辩方的话，他没有一个义务说我在开庭之前必须要把我所有的思路和证据提交给你们看。
但是控方是有这个义务的。
对，控方的话，因为他们就是要去起诉嘛，所以他必须要把材料给到辩方。所以对于洛欣他们来讲，其实他没有办法做针对性的准备，很多时候有一些会措手不及的存在。
我们之前校园辩论的时候，攻守双方确实有这样完全不一样的这种压力。守方他自己准备是非常充分，他很害怕出现准备以外的东西，所以他要把所有的答案往我这个要的方向上去梳理。我们说像赶鸭子一样，路我已经画好了，我是希望这些鸭子都走到这条路上。但是反方不一样，纯反方就是我放开了，我撒欢儿打，我不需要论证什么，我就说你不对，你这也不对，那也不对，那也不对，我只攻。所以他在视觉上确实会显得很潇洒、很灵动。
而且就是可儿有好几次他的那个 objection 都是有效的，这个其实很大程度上打乱了他们的节奏。
对。
对辩方的话，他只要撕一个口子就好了嘛，他要提出合理怀疑就可以了嘛。他相当于提了好几项合理怀疑，比如你造成昏迷、短暂昏迷的原因是不是头部受到重击，而不是说我喝了药，对吧？
对。
但其实这个时候你控方可以去复问呢，因为毕竟他胃里其实是有药的。然后第二个就是辩方抓的那个困意到底是来自于喝了柠檬茶，还是因为你新冠？对吧？又是个合理怀疑。然后包括提问，可儿抓的特别精彩的一点就是他有没有问过你喝完柠檬茶之后你自己的感觉如何，还只是问的味道如何？
对，味道。
就他不关心他喝完柠檬茶之后是不是犯困，就是没有去 test 的这个药效。
他有一个点我觉得好，就是如果我是陪审团，我从这一刻是开始跑票的。
哪一刻？
就是他说这个男的明明知道女孩向他求救，他去了他家，
为什么不带他走？
但是他没有带他走，自己跑。对，总之这块疑点很多。
而且那个男生后来被问的时候就变得有点不知道怎么说了，就有点慌了似的哈。那陪审团一看一下就，对，
就是种种疑点都对可儿组有利，对不对？
对，目前至少看到可儿在他们的那个论述当中撕开了很多的小口子。但是接下来他们也要去问那个被告嘛，就是问那个 Mandy， 他们控方我觉得应该也是能问出很多可疑的点。
接下来也就到了我们所有人
终于要说话了，终于等到你了，
终于等到你，终于的陈词，我们看一看这一轮他的陈词表现怎么样？
不要垮呀！
熬夜熬到脸蜡黄，明天汇报好没自信。
别加班了，放松一下。这个美容妆，敷片面膜，来块蛋糕，
出黄脸更黄。
那就只能试试它，抗糖减黄就这一瓶，Olay 超抗小白瓶，
根源减黄，肌肤透亮白，细嫩滑。
哇，皮肤好白好亮。
今天状态简直在发光，有什么秘诀吗？
因为有 Olay 超抗小白瓶，
黄气暗沉全扫光，职场发光就现在。Olay 美白研究30年，5大专利，专研隔糖素加烟酰胺，7倍抗糖力，根源减黄，14天透亮白，成分功效有保证。
它连续3年获得美白精华回购榜单第1名，Olay 超抗小白瓶入股不亏，还在等什么
？Now, Mr. Chan.
终于来了。
May I please the court, my lord, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Grady Chen, and I'm here with my colleague, Miss Chen, representing the client, Mandy, on this very important case. The defendant, Mandy, is a very vulnerable wife, suffering from depression and insomnia. She stands here being falsely accused of two very serious offenses in criminal law. Firstly, murder of her husband, Robert. Secondly, preventing the lawful burial of a body. Considering the elements to constitute murder in common law, Mandy is not guilty of murder unless the prosecutor can prove beyond reasonable doubt that she does a particular act which caused the death with the specific intent to kill or cause serious bodily harm to the victim. If the prosecution unable to prove the aforementioned standard beyond reasonable doubt, the defendant cannot be convicted of murder. Now we have heard many pieces of facts from the previous trial, and we would like to give a flow of summary in terms of the story. Mandy and Robert met 15 years ago and married 1 year later. 3 to 4 years after their marriage, Robert became more and more irritable and often lost his temper, started using domestic violence against Mandy. Mandy started to live under fear ever since. Mandy had a boyfriend called Alex, who was the prosecution witness. On the date of the offense, Mandy wanted to tell Robert about her final intention with the courage to initiate a divorce.
可是这姑娘已经忍了他10年了，就挨打。
In the preparation phase, she mixed the medication into a lemon tea so she could keep calming down while she is talking to Robert, and also got a cup of whiskey prepared for Robert for the conversation. When she proposed to divorce Robert, Robert lost his temper and then attacked Mandy again. He even tried to strangle Mandy, but Mandy broke away. Mandy was very scared at that time. She thought Robert will just kill her. So she contacted Alex for help. Alex arrived at Mandy's home in 10 minutes. When Alex comes through the door, he saw Robert trying to strangle Mandy. And in order to rescue Mandy, Alex bashed the back of Robert's head once or twice. Mandy was terrified at that moment, and Alex told Mandy to hide and lock herself in the bedroom, and he would take care of everything. Mandy left the scene and hid into the bedroom following the instructions, and then Mandy just took some medications and fell asleep afterwards due to the extreme fear and anxiety. Mandy woke up once on March 29th, and not knowing what was going on outside and still scared, she took some more medication and then she fell asleep again. When Mandy woke up again on March 30th, she tried to contact Robert and Alex by phone. But at that moment, there was no reply from both Robert and Alex. She started getting worried and finally decided to check and leave the locked bedroom. When Mandy came outside of the bedroom, she saw blood around the sofa area, but no one was there. Mandy was completely terrified and she was concerned about the condition of Robert. So she went to the police station and made the missing persons report. Afterwards, we would like to raise some of the issues in this case for all of you to have a consider with. Firstly, it is not hard to find that Alex is a 10th witness. He is also involved in this crime about which he is telling the police, takes a chance for his guilty plea of manslaughter to be accepted and the accusation of murder to be amended to manslaughter. This is the first issue for you to consider. Secondly, it was Amy's statement that raised suspicion about whether Mandy intentionally made the lemon tea more sour than usual in order to put zopiclone in the lemon tea, and whether the invitation of tasting and reviewing before was a testing for future attempt for Mandy's conduct of poisoning. However, the statements which cause suspicion to be raised are both opinion evidence, which is inadmissible in this court. And lastly, coming to the intention of Mandy. Mandy did not have a clear intention to kill Robert. If Mandy pre-planned to kill Robert, the issue is, why did she bother divorcing Robert? Because raising an intention to divorce will obviously irritate Robert. This will largely increase her difficulty to communicate and to plan out the murder.
有道理耶。
And the only direct evidence provided by the prosecution about Mandy's conduct of murdering Robert is from Alex's statement. And that will go back to the previous issue for you to consider whether the statements made by Alex is credible enough to send someone like Mandy in her position to be accused by murder, to be deprived of the freedom for the rest of her life. And that is all for our opening statement. Thank you.
Wow. 很稳啊。
Thank you, Mr. Chung. I think you're going to call witnesses now, is that right?
Yes, my lord. We would like to call the doctor to stand.
Very well.
What's your occupation?
I'm a psychiatrist.
What's your qualified area of practice?
My qualified area of practice is mainly psychiatrist.
Do you think Mandy is fit to plead?
Yes, she is.
How did Mandy's prescribed dosage for the medication change for the past 7 years?
For the past 3 months, I have increased dosage of the medication for her.
To how many times compared?
To the time, it's still the same. It's 2 times per day, but the dosage has been increased from 10 mg to 20 mg.
From your conversation with Mandy, does she concern about the increase of dosage?
She hasn't mentioned about her concern.
So, did she ever talk to you about the dosage, the amount?
No, she just wanted to sleep well because one of the medicine I gave her is a sleeping pill, and another kind of medicine is for her mood.
From your professional psychiatrical knowledge, what are the common symptoms of the battered woman syndrome?
She couldn't sleep well. This is the first insomnia. And also she feels insecure. She doesn't trust people. And also she would feel helpless from time to time and with a very low mood.
From your professional knowledge, a battered woman's interaction with their husband, is it the same as a normal person?
No. A battered woman very much depend on the husband, and it's always feels like there's a subject of the husband.
As a battered woman, as you said, would a woman's reaction the same as a normal person?
Objection, leading question.
洛欣 objection.
No, I think the question could be put. It wasn't put in a way that the answer must be this. It was put in a way that there was an open answer to be given by the witness.
Yes, a normal person may react to violence differently from Mandy because of her history of depression and also a long-term abuse, physical and mental abuse by her husband.
From your professional knowledge, would the amount prescribed us arise due to long-term use of medication?
Yes, because if a person has been taking antidepressant for years, her tolerance level will be higher. So if we want to achieve the same effect, then we, doctor, normally prescribe a higher dosage to the patient.
To what percentage will the amount normally arise in a year?
20%.
Yeah, I finished. Thank you.
Thank you
Lord.
very much. Cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Dr. Fong, do either of the drugs you prescribed to Ms. Tan cause memory loss?
Yes.
Oh. You've explained in your psychiatric report that you increased your dosage 3 months prior to the offense because Ms. Tan appeared depressed and anxious.
Correct.
And she herself actively requested for the increased dosage of medication, am I correct?
Yeah, she mentioned that she is feeling more depressed and anxious, so I decided to increase her dosage.
And you executed this request solely in reliance of her words, am I correct?
Not entirely correct, because I did my own examination on her by talking to her and listening to her, yeah.
Do either of the drugs have any particular taste?
No, it just tastes like normal medicine.
So if someone were to accidentally drink, for example, lemon tea, which was infused with a drug, they would not realize, am I correct?
哎，收回来了，算了。
All I can say is I have never mixed drugs with lemon tea, but I assume it will taste like a normal lemon tea, but I've never tried before.
Okay, thank you. Well, did you recommend Ms. Tan to mix her medication with lemon tea?
I did not recommend her to mix it with lemon tea.
But can it be done?
法官忍不住主动问了一个问题，
这个很重要。
It's not recommended to take mixed medicine with lemon tea, but some people prefer to do that.
I see. Thank you.
Yeah， 但还是有的，
是一种正常的服药方式。
那对于辩方还是更有利的。
嗯。
So for Ms. Tan, who is someone who's been suffering from depression for a long time, an increased dosage wouldn't necessarily have a big risk on her. But for someone who has not had any history of depression or mental illness, taking this medication, do you think that their ability to act and think would be diminished?
Yes.
Thank you. That is the end of my questions, my lord.
Thank you. Is there any re-examination?
Yes, please, my lord.
Please.
If 4 or 5 tablets were put in 1 cup of water, would you still say that's hard to be tasted or realized?
From a common sense, you can taste the drugs in the water or any liquid if there's so many tablets in the same cup. Yes.
Thank you. That's my re-examination, my lord.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Fong. You're free to go, but keep in contact with my clerk in case you're called for any questions.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you. And we'll move on with your next witness for the defense.
Thank you, my lord. We will call Mandy Tan to the stand. Thank you.
好，曼迪来了。
哇 ，finally。 终于要问了吧？
该来了，该来了。
抱歉。
哦，来调了。
遗憾，罗老师
发力了。
Are you religious?
No.
Now, Mr. Chan.
Hi, Mandy.
来了。
漂亮，来了。
明天结案哦，最后一次 present 自己的 case。
我的立场真的完全偏向于辩方。我觉得他最后应该判断错了。
他已经不相信他捍卫的立场的时候，极容易被对方打穿的。
所以你现在控方是准备撤诉了吗？
我们的 common sense 挺合理的。
哇，你这样认为吗？我特别坚信我们这一方。我也是。
我觉得 not guilty。
那就碰一碰吧。
既然不睡觉，我也给他整上。
我韩姐要发
这个点确实是唯一我觉得不可撼动的。
若曦出大招了，
这个是我们确立的很好的一个优势。50 KPI 是囊中之物。
我有种直觉，头天晚上谁更痛苦，第二天谁赢面就更大。
There are too many doubts about Mandy's accusation as we raised. Until now, there is no direct independent evidence that can point to the murder of Robert by Mandy. And Mandy's words and repeated forceful blows all align with the third and fourth injury mentioned on the autopsy report that she had killed her husband.
控方有一个很好的论点。
听完他们的陈词之后，有一些势均力敌。
Is your verdict guilty or not guilty?
SVIP 用户每周4、周5中午12点更新正片，每周6、周日12点畅享加更和 Reaction 陪你看 Offer。VIP 用户19点更新，每周1还有不定时加更等你来，周2、周3还有更多花絮预告刷不停。99益达好自在 ，get 职场好状态。本节目由益达无糖口香糖独家冠名播出。自信每一面，带感赢 Offer。本节目由百度帮阿达帕林凝胶赞助播出。上知乎搜2024秋季招聘，和知乎答主一起畅聊职场。
多少中這提及入神就蛻變最遠，錯落幼稚夢想不會是亂，就是要給予勇氣，仲有天遙遙路途夢想不會這次要雙手緊握這挑戰不對，更多的跟蓋不缺道理。無畏懼再去分開一切，再一次挑戰我嗎？競技會在哪方？奔跑人群中，世界如能屬我，交出每個爭鋒的答案。無懼那也先可會踏破，精彩每一步，這一生痴心夢想，誰會在意他？奔跑人群中，世界如能屬我，交出每個爭鋒的答案。
上微博参与令人心动的 Offer 议题辩论，畅所欲言你的观点。更多精彩资讯尽在新浪娱乐、微博娱乐、微博综艺、新浪综艺。感谢至于成果娱乐、影视聚焦、环球在线、Do News、天意视讯、网易有道词典、中华万年历、未来之光、西窗竹的大力支持。感谢丽丽城传媒对本节目的大力支持。